What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching 100% NUFC. My name is Sharky. I'm a Newcastle fan, and you're here for the review. It finished at Molineux. Wolverhampton Wanderers won, Newcastle United won. Just before I jump into it, if you do go to enjoy this video at any point, please don't forget to hit your sub on the channel. Help us to try and get 2,500 subscribers. That would be massively appreciated. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. That would also help, and put your comments in down below. Also, if you want to see more regular videos from myself, hit the notification bell so when a video does drop, you'll never miss one. So, if you'd asked me just before the game, would I have taken a point at Molineux? Of course I would have. Wolves is a tough place to go. They're a very good side. You know, they're in the top 10, top 7 as I was doing the preview. And they're a strong side with talented players, and they really have gone a long way this season. And given our injury crisis, and given our bad run of form in the Premier League, losing 3 on the bounce in that 1-1 draw against Rochdale, I felt like the lads today owed us a performance, and they really did do that from a defensive point of view, and they're given their all, and that's all we ask as Newcastle United fans. And I would have taken a point, given that before the game I actually predicted that Newcastle United would draw 1-1 with Wolverhampton Wanderers, so I'm going to give myself some massive credit there. Normally I get my predictions wrong, but I had a good feeling that we would, if we played really well, get a good result down at Wolves, and we got one last season as well. Not playing the best football, but it's all about getting the job done. And if you want to come away with, maximum points, you've got to defend really well, especially at Molineux. There's not many clubs this season that are going to go to Wolves and get all 3 points, never mind a draw. So I think we've done really well there. And like I've said before, we've stopped the rot of defeats. And it can only be a good thing to try and build up the Premier League table. I know there was a lot of oohs and ahs when the team lineup was announced from Steve Bruce. But to be fair, I've got to give Steve Bruce a lot of credit for the actual lineup. You know, there was a lot of confidence going into the game in terms of we're getting injured players back. So looking at that lineup, you've seen the likes of the Longstaff brothers in. I predicted that in the actual start 11. You've seen Willems back, Paul Dummett, Kieran Clark, Dwight Gale was up front with Joe Linton. He's back into the side. So, he's going for it, given that it is a tough place to go. We're away from home. We have got a lot of tricky games coming up. And here's our chance to really go to Wolves and get something from the game. And Bruce, to his credit, is actually going for it. And there's not many managers gone by that would have actually picked that side. So, credit to Steve Bruce where it's due. And we started the game really positively. In the first 7 minutes, I thought it was all of us. We were passing the ball around really well. I was expecting Wolves to start off the better, but it was all of us passing the ball around, trying to make Wolves chase with, trying to get Wolves onto it. And we did, all due to our hard work. We did take the lead with Miguel Almiron on the 7th minute. So there was some good play by Willems on the left-hand side. He then crosses it into Dwight Gale. He sort of loses balance, but he manages to shift the ball straight on to Miguel Almiron, who's basically got the freedom of the box at Molineux, and he puts it into the middle of the goal. What a shot. Patricio has absolutely no chance, and it's 1-1. We're in absolute dreamland, and we deserve it because we're pressing. We're actually having a go, and if you do that, you will get rewarded. But we know in the background that we've got a lot of injuries, and yes, we've got a few players back. And Paul Dummett had only just started the game from injury, and he pulls up, unfortunately for him, and he was replaced by Florent Lejeune. And that was a real kick in the teeth, given that we'd just taken the lead, and he's definitely our man to go to when it comes to defending and keeping things organised at the back. But Wolves, only 14 on the 14th minute, do take the lead from a corner. But just before that corner, there was shouts of a penalty when Kieran Clark came together with a Wolves player. For me, it didn't look like a penalty. It was quite soft, and rightly so when VAR chalked it off. But the dude from the corner take the lead. It comes in, and Lejeune, who just comes on, is out-jumped. For me, he's quite a tall centre-back. He should not be getting out-jumped, and because of that, it finds its way to Dúbravka, who has the freedom of the box just to tap it in past Dúbravka. He puts it into the bottom left-hand corner, and it's 1-1. But at the same time, Fernandes should be getting closer to Dúbravka. If he does that, potentially we'll save ourselves conceding a goal. But Wolves are a good side. We know how good they are, and they managed to get back into the game. They bite back at 1-1, and we didn't let our heads drop. We just kept playing, and we were just playing how we normally play away from home, which is keeping the ball, defending when we have to, and getting forward when we need to. But then comes another sucker punch, not a goal, but another injury to us, and that's Dwight Gale again, who just comes back into the side, and he pulls up with a hamstring injury, and he tells everyone that he's got this hamstring injury, and unfortunately for us, Atsu has to be on in his replacement. So we've lost Paul Dummett and Dwight Gale, in the space of 25 minutes. And it's looking like a long old afternoon for us. But we don't let our heads drop. We just keep playing. That's what I like about this game. How we just keep going. The spirits are still high. I know we've just conceded, but Wolves then do get their big opportunity on their right-hand side. Traore wins the ball. We know how rapid he is. He then crosses the ball in. You see Neves and Jimenez lining up in the box, and Jimenez manages to get some contact on the ball. It was a fantastic save by Martin Dúbravka with his feet. If he doesn't make that save point blank with his feet, then for me it's 2-1 to Wolves. A fantastic quality save by Dúbravka, and he keeps us in the game. How many times do I say that Dúbravka keeps us in the match? So many times, and he's such an added value to our squad. And for me, one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. For me, top 6, easy. And he denies Wolves a goal scoring opportunity. And for me, we do right well look, good at half time, but it's 1-1, and I think it's a deserved scoreline. And given that we could have lost Joe Linton as well, who was having a problem with his quad, he manages just to continue in the game, and 1-1 half time, which I think is fair enough. But then going into the second half on the 46th minute, Wolves then do go on the counter attack again with Traore. He then crosses the ball in, and Doherty, who has a free header, he's heading it goalwards, and it's a fantastic block by Matty Longstaff again, just on the line, and he denies Wolves a chance to take the lead on an occasion where Wolves should have probably been 2-1 up, but some fantastic defending there by Matty Longstaff, and we'll get away with one, and we'll then get the ball upfield. And then Matinho then does have a free kick on 68 minutes, which then is obviously dealt with by Martin Dúbravka. There's a lot of fouls all over the pitch. The ball was pretty much in the centre of the pitch. There was not really much going on. It sort of died to death at times, and it needed that inspiration by Wolves or Newcastle to potentially go on and win the game. It did calm down, after that chance by Matt Doherty. And but on the 78th minute, Neto had the fantastic opportunity where Dúbravka saved point blank from a header of Neto on 2 occasions. When the ball, it's just a long, hopeful ball, and we should deal with it better, but no, Neto obviously wasn't marked, and we just get away with one there. He pushes it around, and Wolves, for me, they should have been 2-1 up, and we'll get away with one. But we didn't really do too much on the counter-attack in that second half. But in terms of a substitution, we did make our final substitution. Andy Cowell come on for Joe Linton. I guess that's just a risk that we don't really want to take with Joe Linton, keeping him on for that full 90 minutes, just in case he does pull up with that quad problem. But then we do manage to see out the game 1-1, and we are 13th in the Premier League table, as you can see on screen. And I have to say, it's 26 points. We're 6 points clear of the relegation zone. It's a fantastic point, down at Wolves, and I'm not going to complain, given our injury crisis that we've got at this moment in time. I do think we need the January. We need a striker, because for me, Joe Linton didn't do a lot in the game, if anything at all. He doesn't really offer anything to the squad. I don't know why Steve Bruce keeps picking him, because he just fails to deceive. Yes, people are saying he's not really getting in the right place at the right time, but he is getting the service, but he's just never there. He's never there to finish, and I think in that second half, Wolves had an easy second half because we didn't really attack them as much as we could have done. There was a lot of fouls everywhere. We were getting yellow cards left, right and centre. Discipline was going a little bit, but we managed to keep 11 men on the pitch, despite what happened against Leicester, where we had to defend a full second half with 10 men. I thought that was where it was going to go, given that if Joe Linton had pulled up in that first half, it could have gone that way. So I'm grateful that we've managed to have the second half with 11 players on the pitch. But you could say, given that we had a 1-0 lead, we should really have went on to maybe get a second and win the game. But it's never an easy place to go. It was always going to be backs to the wall, and away from home we're never that great, really. So I have to be grateful that we've got a point, and I'll take it. Obviously, if Wolves fans are watching this, I'm sure you'll be saying that he's deserved all 3. I wouldn't say that he didn't deserve it, because I think he did have chances, but Dúbravka, being the keeper that he is, he's fantastic. He's our go-to man, when it comes to getting us out of tricky situations, and I thought everybody today in the Newcastle shirt defensively played really well, and that was a fantastic all-round performance. Attacking wise, like I've said before, we'll have to look into the window. We need a striker that's going to get with the goals, because I can't see Joe Linton getting anywhere near 5 goals this season, which might be enough to to pull away from the relegation zone. The defence can't always chip in. That's the problem. We can't always chip in the midfield either. We need more strikers to start getting the goals, because it's getting past the halfway mark now where everybody clubs around where we're going to start picking up results. We're quite lucky that results did go, for us in a sense. So we've got away with one there, but it is a fantastic point to build on. We have got a lot of tough fixtures coming up. Rochdale and the replacement we didn't really need. But we've got the likes of Chelsea coming up. No easy game after they won today. And then I think it's Everton away. They've just won as well. So we all know what Everton done a couple of weeks back. So yeah, I think it's a good point. And let me know your score predictions. Let us know what you thought about that 1-1 draw down below in the comments. And it's a standard good point. I think a lot of fans would have snapped your hands off at the start of the play for that point. And Wolves, obviously they'll be kicking themselves, but at the end of the day, the Premier League always springs surprises. So yeah, I'm a happy Jody this weekend. For a 1-1 draw, I'll take it, and we'll move on to Rochdale on Tuesday night, and I'll be back with the preview for that game. So as I've said before, please subscribe if you're new. Help us out. I'm only 20 plus subscribers away from 2,500. Please just help us out. Subscribe. It's free. I do work hard for this channel. And also hit the thumbs up as well. That would be massively appreciated. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. All links will be down below in the description for all my social media. And I'll see you all in the next one. How are the lads? Enjoy your weekend.